Hello and welcome to DJ Charlie's Sports World. Today's segment is going to start my top 10 rankings in all things sport, entertainment, and lifestyle politics. Like I said, I'm going to dub it DJ Charlie's ranking. So it's going to be a top 10 segment on all things, especially based on sport and entertainment. You know, that's where we rank either footballers in soccer or whatever sport. For example, in soccer, in basketball, in tennis, in American football, which is known as NFL. So this is where we will do the ranking. That is why I called it DJ Charlie's ranking. So I'm going to start with the list of the top 10 best wingers in football in the entire world. It's going to be titled top 10 best wingers in the world. So the winger position in football is basically exciting players operating from either the left flank or the right flank. We call them the right wingers or the left wingers. So they are called wingers. They are forward players, but they are trade merchants known as wingers in football. So in Europe, there are exciting wingers in the top 5 leagues in Europe. I'm going to concentrate on them because the top 5 leagues is basically the best of the best in world football. If you are applying your trade in the top 5 leagues in Europe, you are arguably one of the best of the best. So that's why I'm going to concentrate on you are already excluded if you are not in the top 5 leagues for me. That is why the likes of Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and the other people that followed money to Saudi Arabia are not on this list because they are Neymar Jr. is an example. They are not on this league because they are playing chicken football against irrelevant players that we don't even know. They can't even know they can't list the names of their own teammates. You can't call Cristiano Ronaldo now and we can't list the names of his 24 other teammates. Neymar cannot. Sadio Mane is another winger that has left this list for me. So to cut the long story short, I'm going to start with naming the top 10 wingers. Then I'll go through them shortly. What I mean by shortly is I'll just spend few seconds, like 30 or 35 seconds to run through each of the players. So let me list them first. I'm going to count them down from the 10th position to the best, which is the first position. So for me, number 10 is Gabriel Martinelli of Arsenal and England. Number 9 is HeuMing, the South Korea captain and the new Tottenham captain. Number 8 is Rafael Leao, the AC Milan winger from Portugal. Number 7 is Rodrygo, the young winger from Brazil. He plays for Real Madrid. Number 6 is Grealish of Manchester City and England. Number 5 is Marcus Rashford, the talented and tricky winger from Manchester United and England. Number 4, Rashford is number 5. Number 4 is Fischer Kvaratskhelia. Remember that name because that boy is going to shine for at least 10 years. You heard it here first. If you don't know about him, you will know about him today from me. His name is Fischer Kvaratskhelia. He's a Georgian, hence the very difficult name, but he plays for Napoli in Syria. Number 3 is England's and Arsenal's winger, Bukayo Saka. He's an England player of Nigerian descent. Number 2 is the effervescent winger from Egypt. He plays for Liverpool. His name is Mohamed Salah. Number 1 is Vinicius Jr., the Brazilian winger who plays for Real Madrid in Spain. So those are the 10 best players in wingers in football. Honorable mentions for me, the 5 players who didn't make this list for me, they were unlucky to make this list. They are Serge Gnabry of Bayern Munich and Germany, Kingsley Coman of France and Bayern Munich too, Ousmane Dembele, who recently joined PSG from Barcelona, he plays for France. Kaoru Mitoma, that's another name you need to mark on your register. He's one of the best wingers right now. He plays for Brighton. He's from Japan. He finished Germany in the recent friendly day. Germany played with Japan. They defeated Germany 4-1. Of course, he scored, and he was a terror on the left wing for Japan. And then, of course, Liverpool's Luis Diaz, the Portuguese winger, who is one of the best wingers in the Premier League. But they didn't make this list. So I will start with Gabriel Martinelli at the number 10 position. For me, he's already one of the best wingers in world football. The young Mercurial Arsenal winger was one of the best players in the English Premier League last season. He had a breakout year, to say the least. The 22-year-old has blistering pace, great ability in front of goal. He scored 15 Premier League goals, joined up with Martin Odegaard as Arsenal's top scorer in the league last season, while also adding 5 good assists. He likes cutting in from the left-hand side and is a very similar player to another brilliant winger who tops this list, Vini Jr. The only reason why he's not as good as quite good as Vini Jr. right now is because of Junior's pace. Junior is arguably the fastest player in the world alongside Kylian Mbappe for me. So that's the only thing that Junior beats Martinelli right now, because Martinelli is actually a deadlier goal scorer than Junior. If he has the amount of chances that Junior has, he's going to convert more goals than Vini Jr. So he has already represented his country, though he's yet to cement a starting place because he's contesting on the same side with Vinicius Jr. and Neymar also likes operating from that side, and they also have Rodrygo, who also plays in that wing. So for me, and of course he's a relatively new player to the scene, he has yet to break into the Brazilian manager's plan. So for me, he's number 10 on this list. Number 9 is HeuMing Son, the South Korea and Tottenham captain. He had a terrible season last year with Tottenham, but he has been great for 10 years, and he was one of the best players in the Premier League the previous season before the last, and he has been one of the best players in world football for 10 years now. The Korea captain has also been made the new Tottenham captain after Harry Kane left in a $100 million deal, £1 million deal to Bayern Munich to win trophies this year. So HeuMing Son has been made the new captain. So, and already this season I've seen that he's going to have a brilliant season like he usually does, because he scored a fantastic hat-trick the last weekend of Premier League football, and I know he's set to have a big and great season this 2023-2024 season. So for me, he's the 9th best winger on this list. The number 8 best winger on this list is Rafael Leao of AC Milan. You might not know about him, but go and check his record. He already has like their own version of the PFA. He already won the Brazilian Serie A Player of the Year award in the 2021-2022 season when AC Milan won the Scudetto for the first time in years. So the Portuguese wingers, combination of physicality, guile, and trickery down the left wing for AC Milan can be rival right now. He combines those 3 qualities: physicality, guile, and trickery, and he has a penchant for scoring spectacular goals. He had a bit of a down year last season by his standard, and he still scored 15 goals in the league alone as AC Milan qualified for the Champions League for the 2nd year in a row. And he was also like I said, he was also the PFA, the Serie A's Player of the Year the previous year as AC Milan won the league, like I said earlier. So for me, it's the 8th best winger on this list. The number 7 best winger on this list is Rodrygo. I won't waste much time on Rodrygo. The 22-year Brazilian winger plays under the shadow of Vinicius Jr. That is why he's underrated for me, and he doesn't get nearly enough credit that he deserves. His pace on the right flank and his ability to either stretch the field or running behind defenders makes him one of the even more of a goal threat than Vinicius Jr. himself. He scored an impressive 19 goals in all competitions for Real Madrid last season from the right wing, and of course he wasn't starting week in and week out earlier run in the season. He had to cement his place in the side later on, and also those 19 goals is not a bad return for a winger, and he's also poised to have a great season as a key contributor for both Real Madrid and Brazil this year. Of course, he started on the left wing for Brazil in their first qualifier against Bolivia this weekend, and he scored 2 goals and assisted another for Neymar Jr. So for me, he's the 7th best winger on this list. The 6th best winger on this list is Grealish. I won't waste much time on him too. Even though his numbers won't jump out of the screen, he's a picture of consistency. He had massive balance to the left wing of Guardiola's great team that won an historic treble last season. For me, the reason why he's not that productive is because of Guardiola's system. Guardiola does not like his wingers holding the ball too much and being tricky and wasting possession. So that's why Grealish just he recycles possession, passes sideways, and one touch with De Bruyne and combination passes with Haaland, Bernardo Silva, Foden, Rodrygo, and co. So he doesn't have his in basketball. What I would say, when you call something the percentage of time he holds on, he plays with the ball. He's not a key player because he's not like Bukayo Saka is the outlet for Arsenal. Vinicius Jr. is the outlet for Real Madrid. So the ball is always based with De Bruyne and Haaland. So he doesn't have the percentage of the football most of the time. So I wouldn't blame him for not being productive enough. Last year he just scored 5 goals and he made 5 assists in the league. So, but he wins the most fouls and he rarely loses the ball. He links play, he makes assists, but like I said, he has to now impose himself more on the team and score more goals to be higher on this list. Do you understand? But for me, he's still one of the best 10 wingers, and he's unplayable on his day. He's still one of the best 10 wingers in European football for me. So number 5 on this list is Manchester United, Marcus Rashford. The English winger cum striker had to be on this list because even though he's a forward who also plays primarily as a striker, he's at his best operating from the left wing and cutting in to wreak havoc. That is why I'm listing him among the wingers, because predominantly that is where he plays, but he's also a striker. So the only reason he's not higher on this list is due to his inconsistency. For example, if you could remember, at a point after the World Cup, he was arguably the best player in the whole world. The way he was playing that time, he rivaled the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland in goal scoring. He was scoring week in, week out. He had of those 3 months, I think he won the PFA Player of the Month twice. So he was on fire. And he reverted to being a regular player after that. He was awful for like 3 straight seasons before Ten Hag, the new Manchester United manager, came in. He lost a lot of confidence then, but he had a special season. Last year. In all, he scored 30 goals in all competition from 56 appearances, becoming the first Manchester United player to score over 30 goals in a single season since Robbie Van Persie left the club. Football for me. So the number 4, like I said before, that you are going to know more about this boy. He's just 22 years old. His name is Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. You don't have to break your teeth. His name, you can just call him the Georgian Menace. For me, that's what I've coined him. Is the Georgian Menace. That boy, he is like a mirror image of Eden Hazard at his peak for me. He's like a new Eden Hazard, like a doppelganger of Eden Hazard. If you remove the face, you will think it's Hazard that is playing if you watch him. So his wizardry and mastery of the left wing was key, as Napoli won the Scudetto last season for the first time in 33 years. He scored 12 goals, providing 11 assists to join Lionel Messi, Bukayo Saka, and Mohamed Salah as only the 4 players to score over 10 goals and make over 10 assists in Europe's top 5 leagues last season. Of course, he won the Serie A Player of the Year. He won the Playmaker Award in Serie A, and he also won the Serie A Player of the Year. And he was a menace combining with partner in crime, Victor Osimhen, to wreak havoc in Italy last year. Like I said, he's just 22 years old, and he won the Champions League Young Player of the Year award last year also. So for me, he's one of the 2 best players for the team that won the 3rd best league in Europe last year, and he deserves to be on this list. So for me, the number 3 winger on this list is Bukayo Saka. Of course, he's of Nigerian descent, but he represents England to the detriment of the Nigerian national team, because we are looking for a winger, a world-class winger in his mold. But we have to settle for the likes of Simon Moses, and Chukwueze and the likes. Imagine we have somebody like Bukayo Saka to combine with Victor Osimhen, who will be one of the favorites to win the World Cup. That's how later we will be in the forward positions. Imagine Osimhen having somebody like this as his partner in crime in Nigeria, just like he has Kvaratskhelia for Napoli. So, but unfortunately, we let him represent England, and that is where he is now. So he recently turned 22 years old, and is quite simply already one of the best players in the world for both club and country. He just won the English Men's Player of the Year back to back, ahead of the likes of Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, and Declan Rice. He also won the PFA Young Player of the Year just this year. He came second to Haaland in the PFA Player of the Year vote. He joined Salah as just the only 2 players to score over 10 goals and make 10 assists in the Premier League last season, as Arsenal led the league the whole year only to just 4 shots in a heartbreaking fashion to eventual champions Man City, who is the best team in the world right now. He was also arguably England's best player in the World Cup in Qatar, in last year's World Cup in Qatar. He scored 3 goals from 4 matches, and he has already started this new season in fine fashion, already in fine goal scoring form. He scored his first international hat-trick for England against North Macedonia, and of course, he already has 2 goals and 1 assist in just 4 league appearances for Arsenal this season. So he's poised to have a great season. The second best winger on this list is Mohamed Salah. Quick note, Salah, for me, is the best winger in the world. The only reason why he's number 2 on this list is because of, imagine, the Egyptian winger. He scored 19 goals and made 11 assists in the league last season, and that is considered a down year for him. And that output will put even the best players in the world to shame. But for Salah, that is considered a down year. That you should now see how consistent he has been putting out numbers. Though those numbers were not enough to help Liverpool to a Champions League spot last season, that is why I won't put him number 1. Because Liverpool had a terrible season last year. So, but on his day, he's still one of the best players and the most unstoppable players in the world. He scored over 30 goals last year, and that is considered a down year for him. And you can see why he's number 2 on this list. He wasn't nominated for the Ballon d'Or, and he didn't make the number 1 on this list for Liverpool's poor form, poor season last year. That is what denied him nomination for the Ballon d'Or, and also the number 1 best winger on my list. The number 1 best winger on my list is, of course, Vinicius Jr. Quite simply, Vini Jr. right now is the most exciting footballer to watch in the whole world right now. At this present moment, nobody is more exciting to watch. Nobody has more tricks. His bag of skills and tricks is unrivaled right now, and he has already supplanted Neymar Jr. as Brazil's best player. He was Real Madrid's best player last season, and of course, he's going to be Real Madrid's best player, even though Jude Bellingham is having a terrific start to his career as a Real Madrid player. Vini Jr. is still the best player in Real Madrid. Of course, Madrid is the best club in the world, so their best player is Vini Jr. as he as they came second to Barcelona last year and was dumped out of the UEFA Champions League semi-final by eventual champions Man City last year. In total, he scored 23 goals in 55 appearances. Of course, his off-field contributions to world football it shouldn't also be understated. Of course, he has been a victim of continuous and consistent racism in Spanish football, and of course, he has been appointed by the FIFA president as the ambassador for racism right now. Many deals like that, ambassadorship for UNICEF to counter racism all over the world. He's a spokesman for anti-racism all over the world. So that, and coupled with his superb play on the field, makes him the best winger in world football right now. For me, that is that about that on the 10 best wingers in world football. For more of these exciting segments on sports, entertainment, politics, lifestyle, and all things, follow me. Subscribe to my channel by clicking the link below. Thanks and God bless.